There are stories that must never be told, legends buried under time's cruel weight. The tale of Edmond Dante, the Count of Monte Cristo, is one such story, but not the one history remembers. His vengeance was more than mortal, more than justice. It was a curse. It began after his grand revenge was complete. Danglars was left penniless, Villefort was driven mad, and Fernand had taken his own life. The Count, now stripped of his purpose, found himself haunted not by remorse, but by something darker. He had exacted revenge, but in doing so had invited something sinister into his soul. The whispers began in his vast, empty estate. At first they were fleeting, mere echoes of the past, but soon they became words. "You are one of us now." The Count dismissed them as guilt gnawing at his mind, but when he looked into the grand mirror of his chamber, his reflection did not move with him. Then came the night his servant, Elie, was found dead, his eyes wide with terror, his mouth twisted into an unheard scream. The doctor declared it a seizure, but the Count knew better. That night, the whispers laughed. The following days brought nightmares that bled into reality. He saw Villefort's bloodied hands clawing at the air, heard Fernand's anguished cries in the corridors, and watched as Danglars' skeletal fingers reached for him in the dark. His fortune could not protect him, nor could his reason. Monte Cristo was no longer a man. He was a prisoner of the dead. Seeking salvation, he turned to a priest, but the moment the holy man stepped onto his estate, he recoiled. "This house is cursed," he whispered, "and so are you." Desperate, the Count fled to the sea, returning to the island that had once given him fortune, Monte Cristo itself. He hoped the waters would cleanse him, that solitude would silence the voices. But the island had changed. Where once it had hidden treasure, it now harbored something else. On the third night, as the wind howled and the sea raged, he saw them. The men he had destroyed, standing at the foot of his bed, their eyes hollow voids. He tried to speak, but his voice was stolen. They advanced, their arms outstretched. "You are one of us now." Monte Cristo did not scream. He did not beg. He understood now. Vengeance was not the end, only the beginning. And so, as the storm crashed against the cliffs, he let the shadows take him. The island has been abandoned ever since. The locals whisper that on stormy nights one can hear his laughter, woven with the howling wind. A ghost who never rests, a soul who never escapes. The Count of Monte Cristo is still there, waiting.